Question 20. X equals a times 10 to the power of n, where n is an integer, and we're told that a is between root 10 and 10 in size. Find in standard form an expression for x squared. Well, if this is what x is, x squared would be a times 10 to the power of n squared. When we simplify that, we end up with a squared times 10 to the power of n to the power of 2. We multiply those powers together to give us 2n, like so. And normally you'd think, well, that's it in standard form, right? Because we got something times 10 to the power. But we have to be careful here. The fact that we don't know what the size of this number is means that we can't make any assumptions on whether or not it's between 1 and 10. And that's where this thing comes in. So we have our domain, not our domain, we have our range of values of the size that a can take. But we don't have a. We've got a squared. So what would happen if we square both sides of these? Well, root 10 squared gives us 10. And then 10 squared gives us 100. Now that's a problem, because a squared is not a number that is between 1 and 9.9999, so on and so forth. So we've got to change the size of a squared in order to kind of bring it in line. Now how we go about doing that is that we divide everything by 10. If I divide a squared by 10, what that does is that I divide this by 10, which becomes 1, and I divide this by 10, which becomes 10. So suddenly, this will make it so that that is in the decimal, the size of it is in standard form. So if I divide this by 10, it makes this number acceptable. But I can't just divide it by 10 without doing something to compensate. So what I do is I multiply by 10. So this divide by 10 and this multiply by 10. Effectively, you do both. And the reason you do both is to make the a squared part a suitable size of number in standard form. And then what's left over, that times 10 here, mixes with the other one. 10 to the power of 1 times 10 to the power of 2n. Multiplying the same bases, we add their powers. So we end up with the following. So another way of looking at it is that we divide this 10 and then this gains a 10. So our final answer in standard form is that.